many years ago, living in a world where, especially with the advent of social media, with the advent of access to telephones and different platforms, there is always that possibility. At that time, especially for some of us who had traveled out of the country, right? So there was always that intimidating possibility of you looking at all these things and getting into a new land, and you feel like, I am not capable. I am not smart enough. I don't have the skill. I don't have the capacity. So I wanted to find something that is a reminder on a daily basis that, listen, wherever you are, with whatever endowment you have, the intellect you have, the skill you have something unique that you can offer to the world. Therefore, you are enough. That's how it came about.
And so far is the world understanding that they are enough? Is everybody you're talking to understanding that you're enough? I mean, basically, I come from a premise of I am enough.
Yeah.
I know that notwithstanding my disabilities, I am enough. Notwithstanding the impossibility of coming from where I'm coming from in Africa, I am enough. And am I understanding you from that perspective too?
Tonton Bea, you are, and you bring up a very powerful point. You know, a few months ago, I was very, very privileged. You sent me a signed copy of your book, right?
Yeah.
Disabled but able. And I had a chance. I was flying from Austin to Maryland, and I read that book in a single sitting.
For the record, that's flying from Douala to Garoua.
Thank you. And I don't think I've read a single short, concise 100-page piece of content that impacted me like that, because I saw you really bring out the whole idea of finding it within you to tell the world how to look at you. You know, one of the things that jumped out to me, which is very important, because that is the whole idea of You Are Enough. It's not the name they call you, it's the name you answer to.
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
So it is very powerful, especially as you ask me a very simple question. Is the world believing they're enough? That is my goal. My goal is to impact over the next 15 years. At least 1 billion people should know about You Are Enough, should understand the message of You Are Enough, and should be able to lean on You Are Enough in times when they feel a little bit less capable, in times when they feel less able, in times when the world might make them feel inferior, or might make them feel like their skill set, their mindset, their ability is not able to drive them there.
This time, a lot of people think you cannot tell them that they are enough because you come from, I mean, you are a former prime minister's son.
Absolutely.
You are a senator's son parce que tu es le fils d'Achille Achou. You may not know the same challenges like the guy who came from Kumba, the guy who came from the streets of Tiko, Seven Door, in Old Town. It's challenging. But a lot of people think, oh no, you have it all. But they don't know the stories of your own brokenness. They don't know your challenges that you face. It's even a problem being Achille Achu's son in most cases. So, but it's an advantage also. Come on, Gustave. Are you enough because you are enough? Or are you enough because you face some challenges yourself?
I think you bring up a good point, Tonton. And I am enough because I faced a lot of challenges and I found a way through that. But it's important to put some context to that,
brother,
right?
Bring it on.
Because it's certainly a great privilege to be born by that great man, my number one mentor, the greatest human being I've ever met and been mentored in my life, right? But the important thing is, for those who might even know a little bit about who that man is and about how our family is, we never had anything handed to us. What I mean by that, even at the time when our father was prime minister in Yaoundé, I never spent more than a week of vacation in Yaoundé. I will come for a week, and the next week he sends me back to the farm in Santa. I will work every day, and they'll put a tick across my name. At the end of the holiday, he will look at the number of ticks and determine if you're getting 20 or 25,000.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you, Tonton Bia. You can feel my palms. You can tell exactly.
You might be prime minister begin hand strong, so
Hey guys, have you been wondering how you could chat with me one-on-one just to talk on your aspirations, your career, your business, and the things you might dream about with your life and you would really like to do with your life? I know it's been a challenge because a lot of people have been sending me inbox messages, asking me questions and asking me how they could get to me. That has been answered for you. I've created a one-on-one program where you can actually book a time. You will look in the link in the description. You can book a time and have a one-on-one conversation with me for 30 minutes for a very small fee. If you look down in the description of this video, you will find that information and go ahead and book a time and let's have a conversation.
I'm going to be very, very blunt here. And this is all my perspective. So just listen to my perspective. Each and everyone, they have their perspective on this. One thing that we fail to understand is if you're in your 20s, if you're in your 30s, whether you like it or not, give or take, you have another 30 years to stay in this country. Work to get to your 60s before you say, okay, I'm retiring and going home. Within that 30 years, you know what you can do? Just from investing in S&P 500, these are the top-notch 500 companies in the US. If you just start putting some of that money in there, you will have more than 10x your investment. But take this, if you take $300,000 today and you take it to Africa, right? You put that on an investment. What is your return on investment on that $300,000? Remember, you have buried $300,000 in there. You might be making $2 million every month or $1 million every month.
That's about
$4,000. It's going to take you over 20 years for you to even break even on that investment.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, somebody that has put that money in the S&P 500, they might have 10x that money before you are even breaking even. So, but at the same time, what I tell people, diversify your portfolio. That is why I advise people, if you have, you don't necessarily need to even buy a house. You can invest in real estate investment trust.
Okay.
That's it. Okay, real estate investment trust. There are a lot of companies out there that buy properties, that develop properties and stuff. They need capital to buy those. So if the price of houses keep going up, those real estate investment trusts go up. So you don't have the problem of a landlord. You don't need somebody doesn't have to call you and say my toilet is clogged. You have to come and fix it. You don't have to worry to collect rent. But at the same time, you have your steady stream of income. A lot of real estate investment trusts, they come with dividends. So you have dividends payment. They average 10 to 17% return annually.
So you just buy into that company.
You just buy into that trust.
Share of that company.
Absolutely. You're already investing in real estate.
So you can be in real estate without actually
owning
that property.
Absolutely, my brother.
You can be proud of being a real estate investor.
Absolutely.
Without even carrying the burden.
A lot of multi-million-dollar real estate investors today, they don't own those buildings. They are investing in the trust.
That's a very good one. Now, let me take you a step back. Let's get back to the Airbnb example you were talking about. I mean, I really want everyone to understand. I am originally from Cameroon. Eddie is from Cameroon. We love our continent. We want to develop our continent. We want to partner. And we believe that investments like in Airbnb, in buildings, in real estate, in farming, in technology, in manufacturing, in engineering are going to change our continent significantly. But now, is there a creative way where if I really want to still do the Airbnb project in Ghana, in Senegal, in Cameroon, I can leverage the S&P 500 here without my initial investment and still be able to use some returns from that investment and build that Airbnb now?
You just nailed it. There is this guy that I started coaching 3 years ago. This guy, I'll not call the name, but I'll give you guys some amounts. This guy, he came in with about 150K. to invest. It's about 2-3 years ago.
Wow.
I coached him. We worked on him structuring his portfolio. And I'll tell you, that guy has 2x that amount, his portfolio. So, yeah.
Okay, it's probably above 300.
It's above 300. And what he's done, he has withdrawn over $100,000 and he started building something in Africa.
What is capital?
It's still, yeah.
On the US market.
Absolutely. So What I tell people, if you go back to Cameroon, you go there every year, you'll see a lot of unfinished finished buildings. Do you know why?
No.
Because especially during COVID time, a lot of Africans here had multiple jobs, so the cash flow was flowing. So some of the oh yeah,
like a faucet.
oh yeah, so a lot of them, they thought that was going to be constant. You know, they engage in these huge projects, and right now they can't finish it. It's starting. Oh, it's no more generating that. And some of them, they start projects. It takes 5 years for them to complete that project, because again, they still have to work so hard before they put money in there to finish. What I can advise you, if you don't have the entire capital to build a house, invest in the stock market and start taking the proceeds every, say, 6 months or every 3 months, and be putting in there. The stock market can generate you regular proceeds. And again, this depends on the size of your account.
Sure.
A legacy is one of those things that is subjective. It means a lot, but I think it's about doing the best one could do and let other people judge. And that legacy will be framed by people who are left behind to pass judgment.
Businesses is the way to take our continent of Africa to emergence. Yeah. You see, Africa has received over $500 billion in the last 50 years for most countries since independence in aid. Oh, yeah. But somehow we are poorer than we used to be. What that tells me is that governments don't create jobs. Government creates an enabling environment for entrepreneurs to create businesses, and these businesses create jobs. Yeah. So when I meet people like you, entrepreneurs like you, doing what you're doing, trying to build businesses that can change people's lives, that can change destinies, I get very passionate.
And here's the deal, right? You know, again, the first thing I want everyone to see and realize is you are a business. So when you see yourself as a business, because the US government sees you as a business, when you get married, that's two businesses coming together. Your social security number is your tax ID number, because there's a form that most people overlook. It's called a W-9 form. In that W-9 form, there's what they call sole proprietor, right? You know, that's you with your social security number, and they have all tax ID number. So understanding that you're a business, the first thing we as business owners, all businesses always need what? Access to capital, money.
Fact.
We always need access to capital. So why would I take my hard-earned money and pack it in a house and pay my house off? Why would I want to do that? Here's the deal. There's 5 things you should always look for when it comes to where to park your money. The first C, I call it 5 C's. The first one is compounding interest. Uninterrupted compounding interest. Not just compounding interest, but uninterrupted. Meaning, when I pull money from the account, I don't interrupt the growth. So that's first one. Second one is control. I want to be in control of my money. When you take your hard-earned money that is begging you and saying, please, I want to make you more money, and you pack it in a house, how do you still have control of the money? You just put the money in prison. Now you got to go to the bank to beg them to release your money. And your money is like, why did you lock me up, man? I want to make you money. You just locked me up here. I can't make you any money sitting in the house because you don't earn any interest. You lose the compounding interest of the money, because when you pack money in a house and pay off your house, how much interest are you earning? Nothing. The third C is cost, opportunity cost. See, whenever, before I spend $1, I'm asking myself a question. Douglas, what would this dollar be worth in the future for my future person?
Yes.
See what I'm saying? And then
Yes.
collateral capacity, meaning can I use the money as collateral to borrow money? If I need to pull money, for example, if I go to a bank to get a loan and they ask me, what are your assets that you need to declare for us to put a collateral on it? Oh, I have a paid off house that I want to use as collateral. Well, the bank will say, okay, let's do an appraisal on your house. You have to pay the fee before the bank, because when you refinance your house to pull cash out of your house, first of all, that's free loan, tax free, because it's a loan. When you refinance, the bank is using your house as collateral. So before you refinance, what they do, they're going to say, we need to do an appraisal. You got to do all this. You got to pay all these fees to take money. And then they're going to run your credit and they're going to check your income before they even give you the money on the house you just paid off. That's a lot of stress. And they could come back and say, no. So I want to put my money in a place where all I have to do is send a fax, send an email, make a phone call, and they wire the money into my account. No questions asked. And my cash, I call it the cash value king.
Correct.
Cash value insurance continues to grow and make money and say, listen, the money, my money that I worked hard for is so happy because it's working. It's not lazy. It's protecting my life in case something happens. It's growing and paying zero taxes on the growth. And it don't have nothing to do with the market. And every year, I'm making what I call passive income.
I just feel like challenges will always come in life, and challenges are just opportunities for growth. They are privileges. So, and it depends on how we see things. I can't remember who has this quote. It's talking about your perspective to life.
Correct.
And the quote is, when you change the way you look at things, what you look at changes. So when COVID happened, we had two options. Either we all feel like the world is going to end, or we brace up and do something about our lives. So, and we are living in another, not really COVID time, but there's a lot going on in the world right now.
Absolutely.
And I think this is an opportunity for someone to challenge himself and know that there's really nothing you can do about a lot of things, but you can make your own personal life better. When I moved to Canada, I knew that Canada would give me wings to fly. It is now left to me to decide my altitude. Now, when you find yourself in this part of the world and you've discovered your I would call it your passion and maybe your purpose, you know that it is important for you to maximize your passion and your purpose so that you can make life better for people coming behind.
Hey guys, just a brief break from regular programming. You see, most human beings, if you really go deep into their heart's desire, they want three things. They want to live a life of growth and development in order to be relevant. They want to be able to build wealth and also leave behind a legacy that will last for perpetuity. In my Guarantee Your Legacy program, which is a custom designed program, I answer these three questions and more for you. I have limited availability on that program. It's an 8 weeks program whereby we meet once a week, one-on-one with me. In addition to that, I'll walk through the different critical things that you need to be able to grow as a person, to be able to become relevant, to be able to impact people in order to create a legacy. And in doing that, you can also build wealth. If you already have it, I can teach you how to protect it, preserve it, so that way it lasts for perpetuity. Don't hesitate. If you would like to learn more about that program, click on the link down in the description section of this video, and I sure will see you on the inside. Let's go back to the regular programming.
When people go through school and they are very quiet, they think it's a virtue. It's not.
Yeah.
You have to know where you're going to and start working towards within groupings to be able to make that happen. So what did we do? We contacted we went to UONECA, the National Institute of Chartered Accountants in Cameroon. We obtained the list of all chartered accounting firms in Cameroon. Every person who was a chartered accountant. We wrote to all of them to inform them that we are the first set of university students being trained as accountant in Cameroon. We wrote to them. All the other companies, brasseries, all these other companies, we wrote letters to them. And what did we do? We also were very vocal. I was in FM Sanseng every day talking. That was when FM Sanseng just started. The Moise Bank, all these guys. I was every day talking about our association. And what did that do for us? When we launched the association, all those guys, we created symposia in the University of Buea, all those big names, Christian Mu, all the Suki Martin, all these big boys who were then the big boys of the industry, they were coming to university to come and speak to us. And how did they know us? So they knew us. By the time we graduated from university, we had about 70 students who were going for internship in all these places because 70. We had made ourselves almost 70.
Wow.
70, because we made ourselves known. And Charles, what did Charles do? Charles had the right to select because he had spearheaded all these things. And that's how I find myself. I talked about the Jewish community. We are very quick to judge our brothers when they start something. We kill it. We kill it with our mouths. We just kill it. That's people. Nobody will come on this platform and say this was an amazing show. We talked about things. People are very quick. The day you make the error, that is what will happen, of course. The world knows about our things that are wrong more than everything we have done right for the last 10 years. It's going to be broken by one person who came to you, and then you make one mistake. Mistakes are done everywhere. The other guy who is not in our community will make the same mistakes, and then they will tolerate it. We will tolerate it. In our communities, we cannot tolerate ourselves because there is that inner thing that gives us that bad comparison where we're trying to compare the negative way. Instead of pushing our people up, we are quick to break them down. That's our problem.
Wow.
Our problem, our mindset is already completely shattered. We need to completely reborn our mindsets and get the mindset of somebody who wants to build. If you associate yourself with 4 smart people, you become the 5th.
Right.
If you associate with 4 greedy people, you become the 5th.
Fact.
If you have the ear of sitting every time, when you are seated, what you should be working on are those things, because the first thing I always tell you, determine your apple. Once you determine your apple, everything around your life should be, how do I get around that apple? Even when you're watching things on Facebook, you're only watching those things that will give you that, because the system, the algorithm of Facebook will give you what they know that you are interested in.
Always had this dream of being globally competitive, of pitting myself against the best in the world at something, right? So how do I position myself such that I can compete with the leading professionals in a given field, not just in Cameroon and Africa, but across the world? How do I integrate the world's leading institutions and organizations? So this was a moment of weakness where I was coming out of a failure, but my mind was already moving past that failure, right? And already kind of zooming forward to how do I get out of this failure to get back to an ambition that I'd had,
Awesome.
growing up.
Awesome. For a young man today in his 20s, 30s, just tell me some of the 5 of the things you wish you knew in your 20s or 30s that you could advise them today that will make a difference to their life as they get into their 40s.
Just kind of leaning on my own experience.
Absolutely.
The first thing I would say is discipline.
Yes, that's a big one. Oh my God. Everything rises and falls on discipline. Yeah.
Discipline, deferring gratification. Deferring gratification doesn't mean that you live, an ascetic life, right? I'm not saying you should.
Like a miser or something.
Yeah, like a miser or a monk in monastery. No. It's just
eat ice cream once a year or something.
Yeah, it's just about being reasonably disciplined and not being entirely in the moment when you're young. Right? Yeah, you want to enjoy the moment, but to at least have some strategy for the future. But I'll tell you, Gustav, the most important thing I would say is trying to understand early what you're good at.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of us kind of, get around like trying a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of the other. Being able to identify.
How do you know what you're good at without trying first?
So that's what you're doing early on, right?
Right.
But sincerely trying, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of touching at it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Sincerely trying. And so you want to be trying a lot early, is the point, right? And then zeroing in on what you're good at and then really developing expertise in what you're good at. And with the way the world is moving now, yeah, you might have to change maybe 10 years down the line and have a whole different career. That's absolutely fine, because we're kind of going to a multi-career kind of life now. Like the whole thing of starting a job here and doing it for 30 years, it's
done.
That's
it's done, over with, kaput, finito, never again.
That's what I would say. Being disciplined, deferring some gratification, finding what you're good at, and really investing the effort to get good, to get even better at it. Finding mentors.
Mm-hmm. Mentors, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Finding mentors who can kind of help and guide you. And if you're in the West, starting to invest early.
If in your journey in life, nobody doubted you, nobody laughed at you, and nobody has betrayed you, you're too comfortable. If your life is too loud, with so many distractions, you don't practice what I call information diet. You consume everything. Your eyes consume everything that it sees. Your ears listen to everything that it hears. You will always fit in your generation. My belief is that if you will lead in your generation, don't consume what your generation is consuming. Don't behave the way they are behaving. Don't act the way they are acting. Don't think the way they are thinking. The only way you can lead in your generation is to literally do the opposite of what is popular culture. Because also I have discovered in my short time on earth that what is popular is not purposeful. But unfortunately, many people are pursuing what is popular, and they are missing out on what is purposeful. The moment your life is driven by what is popular thoughts, popular trends, popular movies, popular music, popular hangout areas, everything popular. Show me a person whose life is full of popular culture. I will show you somebody who can create and build at a high level. So one of the most important things that anybody can master in this generation is what I call information diet. Knowing how to create boundaries around what you absorb as information. Because if you're too loud and you absorb every junk that you see, it will affect in a serious way the quality of your creation.
A story of growth and a story of prosperity cannot be a story of enjoyment and a story of lights and flares. A real story of
other
success
thing to read too.
Yeah, a real story of success is a story of struggle and grit, because life's always gonna hit you.
Yes.
And, I got to the spotlight very early, and a lot of young people started coming to like, hey, Wax, I want to be like you. And then it was a responsibility for me to tell them, look, if you want to be like me, don't look at the business class flights. Don't look at the fancy dinners, those are the little kind of trophies that you get, like in a soccer game. You sweat 90 minutes, you push yourself to the limit, you might even injure yourself, and then you get a trophy, and everybody wants to take a picture of that trophy. Nobody sees the 90 minutes of struggle.
Correct.
And I thought it's a responsibility for me to show people that, look, this is what I have learned from people, people who have gone ahead of me.
In fact, I was listening to one of my mentors, and he said, you cannot succeed without failure.
Absolutely.
Wow. So this person has had a repeated failure, and then at some point, they got it right.
Absolutely.
So mentorship is just staying connected to this person, telling them, you know what, I believe that what you're doing is the right thing. That's what I want to do. I want to emulate you, no matter what it costs. If I can link that to the Word of God, Paul, the Apostle Paul, he told Timothy, he said, follow me as I follow Christ. And if you look at the life of Apostle Paul, you don't want to pass through that pathway, because he went through
a lot of challenges. Yeah, a lot of challenges.
So life is divided into, active life is, I see it in 3 factions. Your morning is when from birth to when you are 30.
Mm-hmm.
Your afternoon is from 31 to when you are 60. Your night is from 61 to when you are 90. Now, from birth to when you are 5, your parents, they navigate you like you grow up. We see, unfortunately, we grew up in an environment that parents don't see. But you see, like I was having a conversation with my wife the other day. My little boy, the Benjamin, is 12 years.
Yeah.
He developed a passion in just getting to the stores and getting some. He can take the jacket, transform it. And my wife, like, that's a gift. Yeah.
That's a gift. That's a gift. Let's pay attention to that.
He said something that I'm like, so now if he tells me I need these and I can afford it, I'm like, okay, I get it.
I'm trying to nurture that gift.
Exactly.
Correct.
Some of us were very good in soccer, but hey, they will be whipping you. Anytime you play football, you're coming home, you just crying before you get home, because they're going to beat you, they're going to whip you, so that you don't go back next. So they kill those talents.
Correct.
It's later on that we discover that football is mud.
Correct.
So however, those who are 40 now, you're already in your afternoon.
Correct.
Based on
the analysis you get.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're already in your afternoon. And anything can happen in your afternoon. We can decide, if I came here and we just sit down and eat and drink, we'll spend the day. But we have not spent it constructively, because eating and drinking is not, we can do that any time.
Yes.
But what we are doing now, we may not realize it, but it's something that is going to go a long way. Because I believe that people who are going to listen to what we are doing now, even us, like wow,
yeah,
there is some sense in that. They will pick one thing, like I said, out of 100 things, I take just 10%.
Yeah.
So now at 40, you need to be thinking. You have a messed up past, like some of us. Yes, your uncle, whoever you expected, they disappointed you. But you are in the afternoon. The good thing is that the light shining. The light is shining in the afternoon.
What can
you can see, you can plan, you can walk without fear. But if you wait till when it's getting dark, then the darkness comes in.
Yeah.
You can't do much when it's dark, except you're doing things, fishy things. Only people who do fishy things that love darkness. Do it when it is day, like the Englishman says, strike the iron when it is hot. This is the daytime. You might have missed the past. I get it.
But do things now.
Do things now.
Once you discover the truth, you never go back to the lie. I remember after one of these dinners, I called my wife. And I could not sleep that night. I called her. We were in Boston. I called her at 1 a.m. She thought something bad had happened. I'm like, no, babe. There are 2 different Americas. What I have discovered today my life will never be the same. That was the aha moment. That was the day that it was ironized and internalized and locked in that it doesn't matter what it takes. It doesn't matter the amount of effort that it takes. We are going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep pushing until we make this happen. And even if it's not for us, for next people, for every other person to see that it's possible for them. Because as you know, I come from very humble beginnings. I remember as a child growing up, I went to primary school for the Cameroonians that know Kambe in the Northwest Province. That's why I went to my primary school. And I remember as a young man, I always visualized bigger than my environment. My friends would tell you that I spent a lot of my time daydreaming because I used to think about a world that was bigger than where that environment that I was in. Right. So you can imagine the amount of other young kids that live in these environments that have this bigger vision for themselves, but they've never seen anybody that come from that is able to do that. When I started on this journey, I was looking for that person. I was looking for who that person would be that would guide me. I was looking in our community. I was looking around until one day I met with one of my mentors and I was telling him like, hey, in this environment that I'm not seeing anybody. I'm not doing, and this is what he told me. He was like, Leslie, the person you're looking for is the person you have to become. If someday some young kid from some remote area in the world can say that, I listened to Leslie talk on the You Are Enough podcast, talking to Goose on this podcast, and he inspired me so much that I got out there and did this big thing. That to me is legacy.
Hey guys, in addition to all the valuable information I bring to you every week on my videos and my short videos on different platforms, especially here on YouTube, I also have a community of over 2,000 like-minded, serious and driven people who, like you, are receiving exclusively this time a newsletter once a week. And this information in the newsletter is unique and it only goes to those people who are part of the newsletter community. So if you are interested in getting this once a week update, which includes different tips, different ideas on how to build yourself, how to generate wealth, how to make money, how to build a legacy, go ahead and click down in the link in the description and you'll be able to join our newsletter community. And when you join that community, you would realize exactly how much value that brings to you on a weekly and daily basis. Let's get back to regular programming.
When I was younger, I was I wouldn't call myself one of the smartest kid in the class. So I was very, very shy with my confidence on how I can accomplish something academically. And because of that, I was not really confident in a lot of things. And one day I went to home and I talked to my mom about it. And she said, what's stopping you? Correct. You don't want it bad enough. That's why you're stopping. She usually uses this adage. She says that the person that wants something usually have the longest spoon. And you're the one that will be more persistent than anybody else. So if you want something bad enough, you're going to be persistent. And innately, I think I had that ability not to be scared of any one individual, name or personality, or celebrity or anything. Like I can literally approach anybody and say hi to the person without being scared of that person. And had that naturally within myself, right? So with that combination, with that combination of my mom giving me that assurance that I can achieve whatever I want to achieve, I can go after whatever I want to go after, and me not being scared to approach anybody, human being, that made me feel like I can do whatever I want to do, or I can achieve whatever I want to achieve. Now the question is, when you go to that person might not be ready to talk to you at that time. But if you persistently knock on that door, I usually give this analogy. You might be sitting in the living room watching your favorite show, and these kids that sells Girl Scout cookies, and all of them, they come to your door and they knock. You're watching your show, you have popcorn, you kick your legs up, you enjoy yourself, and they're knocking. They might knock the first time, you probably ignore them. But when they keep knocking, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna get off that couch and you're gonna open up the door and say,
What the hell do you want? And guess what? Those kids are ready. And that's the mindset I use to go to anything that I do. Before I show up on your door and start knocking, I'm always ready for what I want. So that when you open the door, I'll tell you exactly what I'm looking for because I know you have it. And you have two options at that point. So you know what? You're disturbing me, go away. And I'll go away. Once I go away, I'll go to the next door. And I continue until somebody will be like, well, you know what? I want to give you an audience. And then I get what I want and I keep it moving. So this is the way I look at it. This is the way I see my purpose in life. When it's fulfilled is when I die, some people keep care enough to cry. Where the rain doesn't deter them from showing up on my funeral. The first experience anyone in life will have with a leadership authority, with an authority figure, is with their father and their mother.
Yeah.
And this is not me trying to espouse my dad and brandishing him as a perfect, no. But I'm just saying that as an adult, and I look back into my mistakes, I look back into my errors, I look back into the conversations my dad had with me and I was being argumentative about, I see through my foolishness. I see through the fact that this man had the timeless wisdom that he gave me and shared with me and my siblings that has shaped my value system. It has shaped the trajectory of my life and it has shaped the outcome of who I am today. So your question was that all I did as a child was to observe how my dad led in the home. I observed his conversations, not just with us, his children, with my mom. I saw how he loved my mom. I saw how he was understanding with my mom. Not just at that, I saw how he related with extended family members. I saw my dad show so much love to my mom's family members. I saw how he loved my mom's younger sister, my mom's brothers. I saw how he respected and he honored them. I saw the same way he did for his brothers. When I was a very young boy, my dad used to take me to visit his mother. Anytime he's going, he goes with an envelope. My mom will go to the market and buy foodstuff and buy all sorts of things, and my dad will go and give it to my grandma. When my grandma passed, every year my dad would go to clean up her burial site, paint it, put a wreath there, I said wreath, put some, gifts there and all of that. I asked my dad one day, I said, why are we always doing this every year? My dad said something to me in our native language. He said, a child who is going to bury his own parents naked has showed his son how he wants to be buried. He need not say more. I understood immediately what he was saying. I was a young child. I was in probably secondary school or thereabout. I understood what my dad was saying. He was saying, what I am doing to you is role modeling. Legacy is living beyond your time, so that when you are long gone, your footprints are still on the sands of time in a way that you have added to the quality of life for people who were not even alive when you were alive.
When it comes to stuff that relates to money, investing, and budgeting, and all the stuff that encapsulates finances, right? We have a ton of knowledge on the internet right now. A lot of people are talking about this on podcasts, on YouTube. I learned a lot from University of YouTube. I learned a lot from Instagram. And you think I have a degree in business from a business school of Harvard or I have a degree in finance. No, I don't have a degree in finance. I come from a completely IT background. But this information is readily available, but a lot of us are not taking advantage of it, or a lot of us feel like we have time, or a lot of us keep having this notion that I didn't come from this, so I don't have to bother, or we feel like, oh, I'm still young, I have a lot of time on my hands. But people don't understand that when it comes to money, and in particularly investing, money is not the issue. Time is your biggest factor when it comes to it. Time is your biggest factor. So that's why someone who starts at like 25 could always become a millionaire investing $100 than somebody who is starting at 35 or 40 investing
$500. True.
$500. So time is your biggest factor. And then also the fact that a lot of us think that, oh, my kids are my retirement plan. Bingo. That I'm sorry to say that, but with this generation that we're in now, we can't continue to count on our kids because they have their own lives to live. And yeah, a lot of us just come from backgrounds that did not teach us about money, but we need to unlearn and have an open mind to know that I can make this happen. And people say that investing is only for wealthy people, but I'm sorry to break it to you, investing is how wealthy people got rich. It's not just for wealthy people.
Young person watching you right now, even anybody, even older people, right? Nobody's ever too young to inspire or too old to inspire. Even for older people watching you, listening to all the things you've already said about your passion, your dream, going after the thing you believe was placed in your heart by God as your purpose. What advice do you want to give them for those who are scared, who are sitting on the sidelines, who are worried about starting out, who are not sure if it is even worth their energy and effort to pursue their dream? After everything you know right now, what do you tell them?
Start pursuing your dreams. Don't be shy. And if it involves the camera, build up a tolerance for the camera, build up some bravery, and obviously negative comments are pretty bad. But remember, you as the creator of every post have the power to just press one button, delete. Don't let any of those comments really. I believe there's a certain amount of time between you looking at the comment and the comment going into your brain. And if you just look at it, press delete real fast, boom, forget about it for the rest of the day. And you continue doing what you want to do. And most of the people who make those kinds of comments, they have nothing to lose. So they think to themselves, why don't I just ruin the experience for someone else? But
absolutely,
you can't let that get to you, because you actually have something. You actually have something that needs to be expressed. You're a tree that bears fruit. Only trees that bear fruit are the ones that get, are the ones that people try to pick from. You're the fresh, ripe banana, and those people, the negative comments, are the monkeys trying to eat them, trying to eat the banana. That's what my mom would always tell me. But my point is, trees that bear fruit are the trees that people try and pick from all the time.